Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
Kurinji Educational Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class we are going to discuss heat engines. After completion of this topic, heat engines, we are going to discuss refrigerators and heat pumps. Refrigerators and heat pumps. Okay, right. See here, ma. See, first we are going to concentrate to discuss about heat engines. So you please try to understand. Please try to press the word, that is what, heat engines. Heat engines, right? Okay. See here. What can we say? What is meant by heat engine? What is meant by heat engine? Means heat engine is a device. Heat engine is a device by which a system is made to undergo a cyclic process that results in conversion of heat to work. So please be concentrate while understanding heat engine. Heat engine is a device by which a system is made to undergo a cyclic process that results in conversion of heat into work. Conversion is not a new word for us because see, when we talk about energy conversion, right, that is what, from one form of energy to another form of energy. When energy is going to convert from one to other, that is because energy is only one, but it is available in different forms like thermal energy, tidal energy, right, nuclear energy, many things, right. So that's why what I am saying is conversion is not a new word for us, but here if you concentrate carefully, see, conversion of heat into work. So roughly what is meant by heat engine means, which is a device by which a system is made to undergo a cyclic process that results in conversion of heat into work, right. Here we have four important points. Here we have four important points. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. Four important points here we have. I will go through one by one, but every point is important. Please try to understand the process, how it is happening, how it happens, how it is going to take place, right. The first point, it consists of a working substance. Heat engine consists of a working substance, that is the system. It consists of a working substance, the system, right. For example, a mixture of fuel vapor and air in a gasoline or diesel engine or steam in a steam engine are the working substances, right. See, what is the working substance means, he is giving example, a mixture of fuel vapor and air in a gasoline or diesel engine or steam in a steam engine, right. So steam in a steam engine and a mixture of fuel vapor and air in a gasoline or diesel engine or whatever it may be the engine weight we are going to take, right. For example, if you take the bike, petrol is there, no, like that, okay. So that is why what is working substance means, these many examples we had in our daily life where we are using a bike or lorry means you are going to use a diesel, right, like that, okay. So this heat engine consists of a working substance, the system. Second point, The working substance goes through a cycle of consisting of several processes. The working substance goes through a cycle consisting of several processes. In some of these processes, it absorbs. In some of these processes, it absorbs a total amount of heat. It absorbs a total amount of heat, capital Q, from external reservoir at some high temperature. Right? I will repeat once again. See, the working substance goes through a cycle consisting of several processes. That is one thing. And in continuation to that, please try to understand. In some of these processes, it absorbs a total amount of heat, capital Q. It absorbs total amount of heat, capital Q, from external reservoir at some high temperature. External reservoir at some high temperature. Okay, that is. Next, third point. In some other processes of the cycle, the working substance releases. In some other processes of the cycle, the working substance releases a total amount of heat Q2 to an external reservoir, which is at some low temperature, that is what T2. So here T2 is the low temperature and T1 is the high temperature. Okay, that's why. So we should not forget what is T1 and what is T2. See, I already told you in second point, that is from external reservoir at some high temperature. That is what T1. Okay, at some high temperature, that is T1. But here at some height, here it is what some low temperature, T2. Next, fourth point. See here, the work done by the system in a cycle, is transferred to the environment via some arrangement. The work done by the system in a cycle is transferred to the environment via some arrangement. Okay. For example, I will explain you this fourth point. What is the information is present? That information I will explain you through the example. The working substance may be in a cylinder with a moving piston. That transfers mechanical energy to the wheels of a vehicle via a shaft. See, in our previous class we came to discuss, that is what steam engine. You know, steam engine in steam, which rotates the turbines, right? Otherwise like that is what moving pistons like material. That moving pistons makes the wheels to move or to rotate. Okay, right. But turbines means generally which we are using in case of generation of electrical energy. But in case of steam engine, you can call it as like moving piston. So here what he is saying means, the work done by the system in a cycle is transferred to the environment via some arrangement. So this some arrangement may be moving piston. That's why he is saying the working substance may be in a cylinder with a moving piston that transfers mechanical energy to the wheels of a vehicle via a shaft. Okay, right. Next, see this picture. It is what hot reservoir, as I told in this point, that is second point. This is what hot reservoir, and it is what cold reservoir, what we have discussed in third point, which is at low temperature. And if you observe carefully, heat flows always from a body at high temperature to the body at low temperature. So here heat flows from here to here, that is what Q1, and from here to here, that is what Q2. Meanwhile, certain amount of work is going to done. Okay. So what is this? It is the schematic representation of a heat engine. Here engine takes heat Q1 from a hot reservoir at temperature T1, releases heat Q2 to a cold reservoir at temperature T2, and delivers work W and delivers work W to the surroundings, okay, right. Now see here the cycle is repeated again and again. Here in this process the cycle is repeated again and again to get useful work for some purpose, right? Okay, so the discipline of thermodynamics has its roots in the study of heat engines. He is talking about the branch of, right, that is what branch of physics which is thermodynamics. A basic question relates to this efficiency of a heat engine, which is very, very important. Efficiency is a very, very important point, very, very important physical quantity and word regarding the engine, right? See here, the efficiency of a heat engine is defined by, eta is equal to W by Q1, and Q1 is the heat input. That is heat absorbed by the system in one complete cycle. Q1 is the heat input, that you can call it as heat absorbed by the system in one complete cycle, and W is the work done on the environment. In a cycle, right? In one cycle or in a cycle, certain amount of heat Q2 may be also be rejected to the environment. So this is the Q2 which is going to reject to the environment, right? Then according to the first law of thermodynamics, over one complete cycle, what can we write? W is equal to Q1 minus Q2, no? So this amount of work is like Q1 minus Q2. That's what you can write by using thermodynamics first law, right? What is the formula for efficiency? Eta is equal to 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Right? For example, if Q2 is equal to 0, then what will happen to the eta? Eta will become 1, no? Right? That is, the engine will have 100% efficiency in converting heat into work. Okay? Right. So here the important note we have to remember, that the first law of thermodynamics, that is the energy conservation law does not rule out such an engine. The energy conservation law does not rule out such an engine, means that is the engine with 100% efficiency. Okay, but experience shows that such an ideal engine with eta is equal to 1 is never possible. Even if we can eliminate various kinds of losses associated with actual heat engines. Even though if you eliminate most of the losses, but efficiency 100% means which is not possible. It turns out that there is a fundamental limit on the efficiency of a heat engine set by an independent principle of nature. That is called second law of thermodynamics. Okay, that's what we are going to discuss in the upcoming class now. Okay, now see some more information regarding the heat engines. That is, if you see the mechanism of conversion of heat into work varies for different heat engines. So mechanism of conversion of heat into work changes for different heat engines. Basically there are two ways. One is the system is heated by external furnace as in a steam engine, or it is heated internally by an exothermic chemical reaction as in an internal combustion engine. Okay, see what are the various steps involved in a cycle, means which differ from one engine to another engine. Okay, right. See what he is saying is orally, the last 1 minute information. What he is saying means this mechanism of converting heat into work different for different heat engines. That is one thing, and there are two ways. One is the system is heated by an external furnace, otherwise it is heated internally by an exothermic chemical reaction, right, as in internal combustion engine. Okay, right. Next, we are going to discuss refrigerators and heat pumps. See, this is the word refrigerator is well known to us, right? Because we have in our house, that is what refrigerator. And by extracting the heat from inside of the refrigerator to the room, so the contents what we are going to keep inside the refrigerator always be at low temperature, so that whatever we are going to keep inside the refrigerator like vegetables and milk, which always should not be which are not going to damage, which are not going to give any chemical change or chemical composition, change in chemical composition which harm to us. Okay, right. See here, a refrigerator is the reverse of heat engine. A refrigerator is the reverse of heat engine. Okay, right. Here, in case of refrigerator, the working substance extracts heat Q2. The working substance extracts heat Q2 from the cold reservoir at temperature T2. Some external work W is done. Some external work W is done on it, and heat Q1 is released. Heat Q1 is released to the hot reservoir at temperature T1. This is what you can see the picture and you can understand. Hot reservoir, cold reservoir, and it is the Q1 and it is the Q2 and it is the W. See the sign here and here, you just compare, right? So that you can understand what is the basic difference between heat engine and refrigerator, right? Okay. So this is the schematic representation of a refrigerator or a heat pump. That is the reverse of a heat engine. Okay. See here, ma. Heat pump. Heat pump is same as a refrigerator, but the term what we use depends on the purpose of the device. Suppose if the purpose is to cool a portion of space like the inside of a chamber and higher temperature reservoir is surroundings, and higher temperature reservoir is surroundings, we call the device as a refrigerator. We call the device as a refrigerator. Okay, that is, you know, if the idea is to pump heat into a portion of space, if the idea is to pump heat into a portion of space, that is what the room in a building when the outside environment is cold, this device is called as heat pump. Heat pump, right? See, there are two things, ma. One is if you want to cool a portion of space like the inside of the chamber and higher the temperature reservoir is surroundings, we call the device as a refrigerator. Otherwise, if the idea is to pump heat into a portion of space, that is like a room in a building when the outside environment is cold, then the device is called as a heat pump. Okay, right. Next, see here. In a refrigerator, the working substance goes through the following steps. That's we are going to discuss now. The first step is sudden expansion of the gas from high to low pressure, which cools it and converts it into a vapor liquid mixture. Converts it into a vapor liquid mixture. That is the first step. The second step is absorption by the cold fluid of heat. Absorption by the cold fluid of heat from the region to be cooled. From the region to be cooled, converting it into vapor. I will repeat the second point. Absorption by the cold fluid of heat from the region to be cooled, converting it into vapor. Okay, ma? That is. So, what I am saying is, first step is sudden expansion of the gas from high to low pressure, which cools it and converts it into a vapor liquid mixture. This is what happens in case of refrigerator, inside the refrigerator. Second step is, absorption by the cold fluid of heat from the region to be cooled, converting it into vapor. That is the second step. Third step is heating up of the vapor due to the external work done on the system. Heating up of the vapor due to the external work done on the system. That is the third step. And the fourth step is release of heat by the vapor to the surroundings. Release of heat by the vapor to the surroundings, bringing it to the initial state and completing the cycle. So these four steps, I didn't write there because of no space, but we have to keep in mind these four steps are very, very important in case of refrigerator and heat pump. These are very important, 4 steps. Okay. So here also we have, starting of this class I told you, right? Here we have 4 steps regarding the heat engines. Similarly, regarding the refrigerators and heat pumps also, we have 4 steps. That's what I discussed to you now. Now, see, next we are going to talk about coefficient of performance, because in case of heat engines, we spoke about that is what efficiency, Similarly, in case of refrigerator and heat pumps, we are going to talk about coefficient of performance. Coefficient of performance. I hope you already understood the word performance, right? Performance, either in case of refrigerator or heat pump. What is the performance, right? See, the coefficient of performance of a refrigerator is given by the coefficient of performance of a refrigerator. That is what alpha. See, efficiency means we use the letter eta like this, right? But coefficient of performance means we use the letter is alpha. Alpha is equal to Q2 by W. Q2 by W. What is Q2 here? Is the heat extracted from the cold reservoir. Q2 is the heat extracted from the cold reservoir, and W is the work done on the system. W is the work done on the system, the refrigerant. Work done on the system, that is the refrigerant. Okay, right. And alpha for heat pump is defined as Q1 by W. For heat pump, alpha will become like Q1 by W, but for refrigerator it is Q2 by W. Okay, right. Now, note that while eta by definition can never exceed 1, alpha can be greater than 1. Alpha can be greater than 1. That is what by energy conservation, the heat released to the hot reservoir is, Q1 is equal to W plus Q2. And with the help of these two formulas, you can write this one. Alpha is equal to Q2 by Q1 minus Q2. Q2 by Q1 minus Q2. Okay, right. Now, in a heat engine, heat cannot be fully converted into work. In a heat engine, heat cannot be fully converted into work. Likewise, a refrigerator cannot work without some external work done on the system. That is, the coefficient of performance in that equation, whatever the equation we had here, that is what this is the equation. Alpha is equal to Q2 by W. Cannot be infinite. So it will not be infinite because of these two reasons. What are the two reasons? Heat cannot be converted fully into the work in case of heat engine, and in case of refrigerator, the refrigerator cannot work without some external work done on the system. That is the reason the coefficient of performance according to this equation never be infinite. Okay, that is what I can say, right? So this is all about heat engines and next refrigerators and heat pumps. Once again, if you overlook regarding this heat engines and refrigerator and heat pumps, means regarding the heat engine, these 4 points are important, which are giving the importance, the working of heat engines. And after completion of these 4 points, we have to for efficiency. So this is the most important physical quantity when we are talking about the heat engines. But the same thing will become here like coefficient of performance. Right? Okay. So after this we came to discuss refrigerators and heat pumps. So here also 4 steps are there, how it works like that we discussed, and it is the picture and it is the formula for coefficient of performance. Okay, right. That's it. So in our next class we are going to discuss second law of thermodynamics. And along with that second law of thermodynamics, we also will discuss about reversible and irreversible processes. Okay, right. Thank you.